boots, everybody, because in this particular section, we're going to have 3 videos to try to drive home a few different ideas. This is a really important part of the piece of the pie. And so I broke it up into a few different videos. So make sure you get the other ones. There's going to be links below linking you to the other ones, as well as a link to schedule a call if any of this stuff just flies over your head and you're kind of thinking to yourself, what's even going on right now? So anyway, let's dive in, all right? I'm going to move my head because it's in the way. All right. So we are in the mind map. We're in step 2, where is your customer and how to serve them. And in particular, we are 2.3, determine value add for your favorite customer. So up until now, what we've done is we have figured out you. We've done our best to figure out ourselves, number 1. Number 2, we've tried to create a link to who our favorite customer is by understanding who they are. Number 3, we've done our best to go out and confirm that those people exist. The next thing is we've branded ourselves in a way that's meaningful to align ourselves with those people from a social aspect. And now what we're doing is we're trying to figure out how we can add value to them. So what we did is we have a couple examples. So first, what we're going to do is just go through a broad talk of the examples, and then we're going to have the other 2 videos following this where we dive a little bit deeper into what those are. So first off, I'm going to mention these 2. These are the first 2 that we are going to go in greater detail here in a second. So again, those links are below, so please enjoy. So we call this the REPIG, or the Real Estate Professional Interview Guide. And what we do is, well, I'll share more about that in a second. The next one, real estate math. I personally think even most agents don't even understand real estate math, like real estate math. I think the reason that I think this, I'm guessing, is because we've owned about 200 houses. We bought and sold about 200 ourselves. So we actually had to be not only the agent, but we had to be the person stroking the check, right? And when you're in that spot, well, we were in that spot a lot, but when you're in that spot a few times, you get a little bit of a different perspective on things other than just a transaction, right? From a real estate agent perspective. So some of this real estate math stuff, I get pretty fired up and passionate about. So that's a tool that we created for you. And if nothing else, this hopefully adds value to you. But we feel that it could be something that could be very powerful that you share with your customer. So next thing, so these are ones that I'm going to go in greater detail about, but throw a party. Okay, so I've talked about this before, and if you missed those videos, find those in the scroll here. Again, hopefully I'll remember to put that link down below, but throwing a party. So the story here is that we had a really big project. We bought the thing for $550,000. We put $750,000 into it. It was a historic, basically a mansion. It was 11,000 square feet in a very cool part of town. And yeah, those numbers are right. Bought for $550, put $750 into it. That was step 2. Our intention was to sell it for $1.85 million. And so we had to, this is the first time we ever did this, by the way. We had to really think about, like, how are we going to pull this off? You know, the risk was pretty high here. So one thing that we did, and it ended up being a smashing success, was that we threw a party. Okay, so this particular property maybe is just too great of an example, and you may roll your eyes and say, this isn't going to be applicable for my listings. But I don't know. I think that it might be, because despite the fact that this property was very unique for the area and had been really dilapidated, so it had gained attention that others may not. One thing that we believe is true is that no matter what, the neighbors are interested in a property that may or may not pop on the market, right? So for our example, you know, the project lasted, I don't remember, I think it was 5 months. Okay, I don't know for sure if that was right. So there was a span of time where people are poking at it, look at it, and it's enormous. It's 11,000 square feet. So, and it was in a pretty quiet part of the world, but we did have a lot of traffic coming and going all the time. So what we did is we decided, you know what, we're going to throw a party. We're going to bring the community together because everyone wants to pick their neighbor. And if nothing else, hopefully the word of mouth of us throwing this fun event where everyone gets to see this thing will have a cascading effect, and maybe these people are going to pick their neighbor and it'll be really cool, right? So we collaborated with some local folks, and we brought in a local brewery and wine joint, and we had a DJ. Actually, it wasn't a DJ; it was a band. So they played like old school cool music in the corner of this little room that was kind of like a library / office, but felt really good for a music room. And it happened to be a beautiful fall day. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, not only did it help sell the house in 5 days, because it did, it sold at list price in 5 days. How many times do you see a $1.85 million house sell in 5 days? Not every day. Okay. So, and in addition to that, it really put us on the map. So now we're able to leverage this story, this success story, and allow us to go repeat that process with others. Okay, so encourage you, if that's something that you enjoy, which is basically entertaining, to get involved in that process. And we strongly believe that it could be a great value add. Now, there's some ways to position it, which could be, I'll be your listing agent. Please sign in X amount of time, if you will. I throw parties, and you can talk about what you do, and this is what it is. And you want it to be clean. Obviously, it's very professional. You don't need things getting out of hand, and that's not what we're talking about. It's more of a gathering. It's just easiest to call it a party. I think we actually call ours a gala, but nonetheless, that's the point here. Okay, so the next thing down the list here is just local knowledge, right? Like if your niche is a particular part of town, real estate's extremely local, right? So if your particular MLS allows you to break down data, if you will, or if data is not the thing, or actually maybe data is the thing, but you have a whole bunch of other things. There's a restaurant guide, there's a this, there's a that, there's parks, there's events, there's all kinds of stuff, so that they come to you. You're the hub for that hood. You're the person. So you're not just a real estate agent. You're this person that knows everything that's going on around here because you're passionate about it. Let's say you live in a neighborhood where there is some commerce, some small businesses with shops and restaurants and stuff. Maybe what you do is you go around and interview all of them, and then you send on video and or audio, you learn about that business, and then you share it with your community, right? And now once you get out, the list can go on and on and on and on and on, right? Another one that's relatively simple is just to create a conversation and or a guide around staging. In your area, is it crucial? Is it not? If it is, talk about some different trends in some different ways, or a few contacts, or what have you. One thing you could also do is potentially offer to pay for it, right? Or a portion of it. Again, sorry, I forgot to blow these up here. Another thing is that you could have the inspection. You could just offer to pay for stuff is the point, right? I should have put these two together, meaning pay for stuff and then had improvements and inspection together. I apologize. But the point is offer to pay for stuff in return for signing right now. Like, sign right now. Here's what I do. I'm supercalifragilistic awesome. I'll even pay for your X to make sure your curb appeal looks great or whatever, and have it be for a certain dollar amount. But again, these are things that your customer needs, right? So if you're in an area where maybe you're in a $250,000 neighborhood that's surrounded by 350, and curb appeal packages would do really, really well to help people stay in your area as opposed to going to the 350, because it's close enough that they're a little like, I don't know, offer a curb appeal pack so that your listings always stick out. For $500, $500 can go a long way. And in the grand scheme of things here, is it worth it to get 15 more listings a year and spend the $500 to get them? I don't know. That's up to you. But again, we're just sharing some ideas. The last one here we have is Voxer. Voxer is just basically a way for me to talk about an open line of communication. It happens to be an app that we use amongst our team. It's kind of like a walkie-talkie a little bit. It's pretty cool. It's a little bit more fun, although it basically does the same thing as text these days because we can push to talk in there. But it's just sort of fun. And one other thing that's kind of neat about it is that there's a bit of anonymity in terms of that the people may not have your cell phone number. So you could put it out there a little bit in a different way, right? So nonetheless, the idea here is that you're encouraging open communication, right? So a lot of folks, well, I don't know this for sure, but in my experience, I've dealt with a lot of agents that were terrible at communication. So for me, I'm a little bit maybe more passionate about it just because our experiences are different than say like the average home buyer, home seller. But I mean, despite the fact that you'd think that we had crazy amounts of leverage to collaborate with agents in our communities because of all the sales that we did, not only from an agent standpoint, from a buying and selling standpoint, agents still drop the ball in communication. So if you can set yourself apart and say that not only am I going to talk about that I really believe in communication, I'm going to give you this thing. Here's my access to my contact in Voxer. You can reach out anytime, blah, blah, blah. Just an idea, guys. Okay, so thank you for watching this. I hope you gained some ideas in here. But don't forget to go to the next two because I'm going to dive deep into our RAPIG and our seller net sheet. Hope you gained some value out of that. Look for the links below, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.